We need 6. Mhm. So now we're at 6. Mhm.
Hi, Monique. How are you? How are things at this point in the semester?
Very good, thank you.
Great to hear.
Hello.
Gladys.
I think we're just waiting for one more to join. Oh, here we go.
So we're all set now, yeah. Mhm.
Okay, great. I'd like to call to order the Springfield Technical Community College Board of Trustees regular meeting for Monday, March 28th, 2022. Nanette, please call the roll.
Yes, Mary Kate Murin,
Present.
Janae McDonald,
Present.
Betty Esposito,
Present.
Monique Selden Riley,
Present.
Maurice Lindsay, Samalid Hogan,
Present.
Bill Johnson,
Present.
Noam Roldan,
Present.
Jeff Sattler, and Max Starks.
Present.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Do I hear a motion to approve the meeting minutes of our Board of Trustee meeting on February 28th, 2022?
So moved, Madam Chair.
I'll second that.
Great, I have a motion and a second discussion. Hearing none, Nanette, please call the roll to approve the minutes of our meeting of February 28th, 2022.
Yes, Mary Kate Murin,
Yes.
Janae McDonald,
Yes.
Elizabeth Esposito,
Yes.
Monique Selden Riley,
Yes.
Maurice Lindsay, Samalid Hogan,
Yes.
Bill Johnson,
Yes.
Norm Roldan,
Yes.
Jeff Sattler, and Max Starks.
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. So let's transition right into trustee committee reports. And Trustee McDonald, we had a committee on internal and external relations on February 7th, 2022. You want to just give us an overview?
Sure, thank you. We started out with an enrollment outlook from the VP of Student Affairs, talking about some of their high-touch strategies for more collaborative enrollment efforts, individual comms with students, student intention surveys, with strategies trickling all the way down to faculty. They also reviewed the student vax compliance rate, which now we're at 92% for on-campus vaccinated, and the other 8% have approved accommodations. During our AUC update, they have formulated a DEI committee. They expressed some concerns over staff participation, and in response to another or a prior committee inquiry about student involvement. Since then, Christine Atwater has met with student activity coordinator and student government association, and also referenced that student involvement is outlined in the bylaws. Also moving forward, as stated in the last committee meeting, there's 2 board liaisons that are participating in the shared governance work that's taking place, and AUC is active in that as well. We also had an update about some discontinued programs with Dr. DeBurley, Lara Sharp, and Dr. Rapp, who talked specifically about biotechnology and biomedical engineering and concerns over the chronically low course enrollment. You know, we're talking numbers of 3, 4, 5 students, completions, and even discussion around the lack of regional employment opportunities. And so we will be reviewing whether it's suspending admission or discontinuation at the next committee meeting. And the presenting team was sure to mention that there'll be no faculty positions eliminated should we make that decision.
Great, thank you so much. Do I hear a motion to accept the Committee on Internal and External Relations meeting minutes of February 7th, 2022?
This is Betty. I just have a quick note. It says the meeting date, it should be 4/4/22, if I'm correct. On the last page, I think, where it says next meeting date.
So Nancy, that's for the internal, external, yeah. Next meeting, date, yeah. We'll make that
I'm sorry.
change.
Mhm.
That's all. Thank you.
Do I hear a motion to accept the meeting minutes with the change previously mentioned?
Bill Johnson, motion to approve as presented with the change.
Thank you, Bill. Do I hear
I'll
a second?
second it.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Norm, we got Norman with the second. Additional discussion. Hearing that, none, Yannette, can you please give the roll call to accept the February 7th, 2022 Committee on Internal External Relations meeting?
Yes, Mary Kate Murin,
Yes.
Janae McDonald,
Yes.
Elizabeth Esposito,
Yes.
Monique Selden Riley,
Yes.
Maurice Lindsay, Samalid Hogan,
Yes.
Bill Johnson,
Yes.
Norm Roldan,
Yes.
Jeff Sattler, and Max Starks.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great. Trustee Starks, we had a Committee on Ways and Means on February 14th, 2022. Hoping you can give us an overview.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, and good afternoon, everyone. So we started with our investment subcommittee report presented by Chair Murin, describing both the short and long-term portfolios as in line with benchmarks. Then we had our normal fiscal year 2022 trust fund and financial update and outlook, and there is nothing out of the ordinary that we need to report. We then discussed the fiscal year 2023 budget process and perspective. The first draft of the fiscal year 2023 budget is to be presented at the March Ways and Means Committee meeting. Dr. Cook noted during that discussion that the first draft of the fiscal year 2023 budget will include a request to use college reserves to help ensure a balanced fiscal year 2023 budget. We then adjourn the meeting.
Great, thank you so much. Do I hear a motion to accept the meeting minutes for the Committee on Ways and Means for February 14th, 2022?
So moved.
Bill
Second.
Johnson's, oh, sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Nope, I got you. I've heard you first, Bill. So you're the second. Discussion. Hearing none, Nanette, please call the roll to accept the committee meeting minutes on Ways and Means for February 14th, 2022.
Yes, Mary Kate Murin,
Yes.
Janae McDonald,
Yes.
Betty Esposito,
Yes.
Monique Selden Riley,
Abstain.
Maurice Lindsay, Samalid Hogan,
Yes.
Bill Johnson,
Yes.
Norm Roldan,
Yes.
Jeff Sattler, and Max Starks.
Yes.
Thank you.
And then Trustee Starks, we then had another committee on Ways and Means March 14th before we've gotten together in 2022. If you give us a update on that one too, please.
Yes, Madam Chair, we'll do. So we started this meeting with a review of the fiscal year 2021 single audit and agreed upon procedures performed by O'Connor and Drew PC accounting firm. The single audit and agreed upon procedures were both in good order with no material weaknesses, significant deficiencies, or findings. A motion to approve for review for this full board, the fiscal year 2021 single audit and agreed upon procedures was made, seconded, and approved by all. We then had a fiscal year 2022 financial update and outlook with no noteworthy issues. We follow that with the fiscal year 2023 first draft budget that included a $1.2 million deficit. We then discussed key revenue and expense assumptions, including including historical relationships between fees, increases in enrollment, and results of expense reduction actions. The first draft fiscal year 2023 budget included an assumption of using reserves totaling $4 million. We then adjourned the meeting.
Great, thank you so much. Let's approve the Committee on Ways and Means meeting minutes of March 14, 2022. Do I hear a motion to accept?
Madam Chair, it's Norman. I approve the motion.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Great, sounded like discussion. Hearing none, Nanette, would you please call the roll to accept the Committee on Ways and Means meeting minutes of March 14th, 2022?
Yes, Mary Kate Buren,
Yes.
Janae McDonald,
Yes.
Elizabeth Esposito,
yes,
Monique Seldon Riley,
Abstain?
Maurice Lindsay, Samalid Hogan,
Yes.
Bill Johnson,
yes,
Norm Roldan,
Yes.
Jeff Sadler, and Max Starks.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great. As Trustee Stark said, we do have a motion that came out of Ways and Means on March 14th, 2022. On page 19, there is a motion. Do I have someone that would like to read the motion?
I'll read the motion. That the Springfield Technical Community College Board of Trustees pursuant to the provision of Section 22, Chapter 15A, approves the fiscal year 2021 single audit and agreed upon procedures as presented. See attached.
Second.
I'll second, Madam Chair.
Great. Thank you, Norman. Discussion. Hearing none, Nanette, please call the roll to accept the Committee on Ways and Means FY 2021 single audit and agreed upon procedures, please.
Mary Kate Buren,
Yes.
Janae McDonald,
Yes.
Elizabeth Esposito,
Yes,
Monique Seldon Riley,
Yes.
Maurice Lindsay, Samalid Hogan,
Yes.
Bill Johnson,
yes,
Norm Roldan,
Yes.
Jeff Sadler, and Max Starks.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Dr. Cook, I think we're into your perspective.
Yes, indeed, Madam Chair. Good evening, Board of Trustees. Good to see you all. I look ahead to the day when we'll be able to see one another in person. I did see Trustee Esposito live and in the flesh last week on campus. That was a real treat. She was getting more familiar with our dental clinic and community-facing services. So thank you for that, Trustee Esposito. A few items to share and help amplify. Let me go back into the minutes from the last committee meetings. There's so much work done by you as trustees and engagement via the committee structure. Let me help pull out a couple things. For internal and external, again, you'll find materials packets emailed to you. They're in board pack. It is not an insignificant conversation to be looking at program discontinuation. I don't want to lose track of that. We did administratively suspend admission into biomedical engineering technology and biotechnology. We really do continue to struggle despite investments in marketing and really trying to reposition them with, at the course level, as mentioned, average of 3 or 4 students in a class. And again, that's just not a particularly effective way to have an educational experience. So again, really looking ahead, we anticipate at the internal external committee meeting next week that we will recommend for the committee's consideration formal discontinuation of those. If that vote is successful, that will get moved on to the full board. So again, I just wanted to have everybody looking ahead and knowing what that looks like. There is a novel approach with biotech will be folded into an existing biology transfer pathway. But we, with biomedical, had previously suspended that program back in 2010. So despite best efforts. So again, wanted to point that out on the programmatic side. On the budgetary side, as Trustee Starks mentioned, the first draft in March of the budget for next fiscal year showed a $1.2 million deficit. Not a bad place to start with, given all the needs that we continue to contend with as a college, given a lot of uncertainty. And I'll talk a little bit about the outlook. But again, really appreciate already the unflinching support from trustees. We've put in there that $4 million request out of reserves. That's going to go a long way. And again, we've got a packet with slides and materials that really walks through what's a multi-year approach so that you know not just what you anticipate approving this year, but what would reserves look like the next 3 and 4 years, especially with a Building 20 infrastructure project in the middle of that. And we should be really proud of our team for how they've diagrammed all of that. Again, just wanted to point those two things out within the committee work themselves. You'll have seen this morning, again, operationally from the college, masks. I just want to point out, again, I've alerted campus, we're just going to keep with the continuity. There's only about 6 weeks left of the semester. So we're going to stay in masks until the end of that. And then again, we will not have that mask requirement on campus going forward. In terms of commencement, you'll also see, again, we broadcast broadly to the college. We're going to go down to the Mass Mutual Center on Thursday evening, June 2nd. We're going to do that in person. It is expected that unless there's a city or other requirement, that we will not have a mask requirement or a vaccination requirement. It is off campus. So it would not be subjected to the college's vaccination policy. So again, just wanted to point those two things out. Just a couple other notes, and then happy to see if there's questions on any or all of the college operations. The budget work definitely continues. We're looking forward to the Ways and Means meeting next month as well, and really showing a lot of work, sharpening on the pencil for how we get even closer to a balanced budget. I fully expect we're on the path to presenting to Ways and Means and then the full board in May, a tried and true balanced budget for next fiscal year. The article that we put in the packet for you, again, is brief. I encourage you to take a look at that. Not only is it thoughtful, it's timely given our strategic planning that we are continuing to put one foot in front of the other. We will want to talk about a formalized trustee liaison to the strategic planning task force that we are standing up. We certainly could talk either at internal, external, or with Mary Kate around how that might look. Some really important questions posed to community colleges across the board. Who will our students be in 5 to 10 years? Is the curriculum going to meet the changing needs of the economy and the workforce, especially with the impact of digital and technology? To what extent would we need a physical campus? And should that be a question? We definitely will need a physical campus. We certainly have programs that we know literally the hands-on and the implements in those hands, the technology are going to be really, really important for our students to train and prepare on. But again, lots of questions that help us look forward, that help us look ahead. And that article really does summarize that and give a great backdrop for strategic planning. So we will continue to keep you informed, and we'll use the liaison to help with engagement. And that work will definitely continue this fall and likely into early 2023. Finally, you may have seen on the news, we got a good little spot with our regional legislative delegation. Even though we have submitted our Building 20 School of Health relocation to DCAM, we wanted to continue to sort of keep it top burner. We wanted to keep our momentum. And so we hosted recently our legislative delegation. It was a hit. When you can put a simulation ambulance as the backdrop, you really do get their attention. We do in Building 20 have effectively an ambulance. We also have a real ambulance, everybody, by the way. When we come back in person, we'll show you. But I think, again, their delegation appreciated knowing where the project was, what their role was. By the way, they liked hearing what your role and contribution was. That $6 million commitment definitely got their attention. And so we have asked for them to help do a little bit of a campaign, make sure that the executive branch essentially hears about their desire to see this project funded, because they're not going to fund all 20 of the proposals that have been submitted. So continuing to do that really good work of engaging with our legislators about this really important project. So really, that's the outlook. Again, coming out of spring break, things are fairly quiet still on campus. Our registration for summer and then fall opens up in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and we'll start to really have a picture there. But again, we're a place, right? Community colleges typically get about 50% of their enrollment after July 1. So we're going to continue to use the time to plan, look ahead, and as I shared in my email this morning, really try to help strengthen and build back the on-campus component. So that's my perspective. Happy to take any questions.
Any questions for Dr. Cook? I think we're all waiting to get back onto campus, right? So good for you, Betty. I'm a little jealous that you beat me there, but we'll all be after it soon. Any old business? Great. Let's transition, Dr. Cook, into new business, the 2022 pinning ceremonies. And of course, we want to talk a little bit about next year trustee meetings.
Yes, so do mark your calendars. You'll see in the packet detail. I know, again, certain trustees have already penciled in the nursing one, I dare say in particular. It is nice to have a trustee represented at each of those, so we can certainly work offline to work on that. Again, by and large, those dates all come after when the mask requirement has ended. So again, it's a chance to welcome families to really help celebrate with their loved ones. So this is just a great time. I mean, our health programs are just so signature to the college. This is a really important part of that celebration of those accomplishments. So again, you've got the dates and times and locations for those right there. As far as the trustee meetings as well, to segue, you'll see a motion. We do already have it all mapped out for your consideration. You'll see highlighted is the September retreat. I think that will be really a wonderful opportunity to talk about where we are with governance, where we are with strategic planning, a chance for the board perhaps to do some consideration of its own bylaws. And we can talk certainly much more about that down the road. And again, the anticipation of doing it live and in person with everyone is very exciting to consider. So again, you've got the map of the calendar for next year. We've really done well where we've got 2 internal, external spaced out nicely in each semester as well. It allows us to do things like we're going to do next month, where we put tenure recommendations in front of that committee that allow it to flow up to the full board.
Great, thank you. I know we do have a motion. Just wanted to give trustees, I'm sure you read the packet in advance, but there is a motion on page 28. If someone would like to read the motion.
Okay, I will.
Great.
Move that the Springfield Technical Community College Board of Trustees approve the 2022-2023 Board of Trustees meeting calendar.
Madam
Do
Chair,
I-
Bill Johnson, I'll second.
Perfect. Discussion. Hearing none, Nanette, would you please call the roll to accept the 2022-23 Board of Trustees meeting calendar?
Yes, Mary Kate Murin,
Yes.
Janae McDonald,
Yes.
Betty Esposito,
Yes,
Monique Seldom Riley,
Yes.
Maurice Lindsay, Samalid Hogan,
Yes.
Bill Johnson,
Yes.
Norm Roldan,
Yes.
Jeff Sattler, and Max Starks.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great. So thank you, everyone. Just to transition into the chair report, if you could take a look at the pinning ceremonies. I know many of us have attended in the past. They're really a wonderful opportunity to really get to know our students. So if you could fit something into your calendar, that would be absolutely fantastic. I know nursing is probably already grabbed, right, with Betty. I typically have to go to dental hygiene just because that was my mom's profession. She ran the state of Connecticut dental hygiene program for about a decade. So you can pencil me into dental hygiene, Nanette. But anything else, everybody, just take a look at those. Really a great opportunity to meet our students, which are, of course, the most important. Just a couple of quick highlights. Really good to hear, Dr. that we're going to be moving forward in earnest on strategic planning. I will ask, is someone interested in really kind of volunteering for that prior to me giving some people some calls? Really an important aspect as we continue to set the stage and the roadmap for the college and years down the road. Another update is the governor has approved open meeting law to be virtual through July. So we'll continue to be virtual. We've never, ever had issues with quorums, which is, I think, a testament to everybody on this call. But just to give you a heads up on that. And I know that Eduardo Marti still continues his hard work on governance, and it continues in earnest. Really looking forward to next steps, gathering that information, having a potential debrief with the board, and cross collaboratively looking with all the constituents on establishing a sound governance, shared governance structure that we can adapt and adhere moving forward. So I had a really, the same thing about graduation, everybody. So mark your calendars, right? And Dr. Cook, I think you said June 2nd at Mass Mutual Center. I believe at 6 o'clock, there is attending, getting there early and getting robed and all that kind of great stuff. And yeah, I'm sure you'll send out some reminders to all of us. So if you can just calendars for that day, it would be wonderful.
Yes.
So with that, I'm just going to pause to see if there are any questions or comments. Hearing none, our next board meeting is Monday, April 25th, 2022. Do I hear a motion to end the board meeting today?
Madam Chair, I make motion to adjourn meeting.
Great, thank you. Do I hear a second?
I'll
Second.
second. Oh,
We had 2, or maybe even 3 seconds. Nanette, would you please take the roll to adjourn the meeting?
Yes, Mary Kate Murin,
Yes.
Janae McDonald.
You're on mute, but
I
I
see you, yes.
saw her mouth say yes.
Okay. Betty Esposito,
yes.
Monique Seldom Riley,
Yes.
Maurice Lindsay, Sam Ali Hogan,
Yes.
Bill Johnson,
Yes.
Norm Rodan,
Yes.
Jeff Sattler, and Max Starks.
Yes.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great Monday and have a great rest of the week.
You too.
You
Thank
too.
you all.
Take care,
Everybody
everyone.
else.
All right.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.